Hello everyone and welcome to episode 25 of this Let's Play series of Star Trek Online. My name is Winters and we are at the Azure Nebula and we are about to start the mission Temporal Ambassador. So let's select the mission and get our mission brief.
We've detected an anomaly in the Azure Nebula. Because of the Tholian activity in that area, we're concerned that they may be attempting to open a rift to the mirror universe. I need a ship to go out there and check it out.
Okay, so there we go. These are our rewards upon mission completion. We are actually getting a new ship, which is the Support Cruiser Ambassador class. So, yeah, let's accept that. And we will begin. Okay, so this is the anomaly that we detect. We're going to get up to it and it's going to disappear. And if we notice here, then it's moved in our minimap, or at least it's pointing to a new direction. And this is going to happen a few times. Here it is. Minimap, see it's changed again. And next one should be okay. We'll get this magnesite ore since we're right here. Alright, kick it into full impulse using Shift R. Look at him, he's down below the seat. Another bug. Okay, so let's talk to Franklin Drake.
Do you have a question? Thank you, Captain. The Tholian Assembly appreciates your loyalty. So many ship captains threw away their lives needlessly in the days after they annexed this area of space. It'll take a few hours to offload your cargo. Feel free to grab a hot meal in the commissary. I know that comforts can be hard to come by in this sector. I recommend the plomeek soup. It almost tastes like something. Do you need anything else?
So we have to get some food in the mess hall. So we'll be going through this cave or cavern, take a right, and then take a left. Get this tronium gas since we're here. And we're going up to the replicator. We must work together to find the path to progress.
I haven't seen you around here before, Captain.
Talk to Richard Costello.
Got a minute to talk? I know. I asked around about you, and I don't know if I'm supposed to be telling you this, but I need your help. You're not supposed to be here. None of us are. Not in this timeline, I mean. My ship, my crew, we were supposed to do something important. We went through an anomaly, moved through time, and everything changed. We tried to go back. I guess the battle with the Klingons disrupted the anomaly. Instead of getting back where we belong, we ended up here with the Tholians running everything. I'd never even seen a Tholian before. You have to help us set things right. You have to help us get back to our ship. Me and my crew. There are a little over 100 of us here, scattered throughout the work camp. We're about 65 years ahead of where we should be, according to my math. We were fighting the Romulans. This was back in 2344. And the weapons discharges caused a temporal rift. We passed through, and because we weren't at Narendra to do what we were supposed to do, the timeline changed. We ended up in a timeline where the Federation and the Klingon Empire were at war. The Federation was losing, badly. We tried to go back to set things right. But then the Klingons found us and the Enterprise D. There's someone here with us from that timeline. Her name is Tasha. I'll take you to her. Maybe she can help explain this.
So what he was talking about was the TNG episode, Yesterday's Enterprise, I think was the name of the episode, when the Enterprise C came through a temporal anomaly and it disrupted the timeline, and the Federation and Klingon Empire were at war with each other, and Tasha Yar was sent back in time, even though she was, because the timeline had changed, had been altered. So we're going to talk to Tasha.
We need your help.
Who is voiced by Denise Crosby.
I'm from Starfleet, and if I'm right, that's a name that should ring bells with you as well. In an alternate timeline from this one, the correct one, Starfleet is still alive and well, and you're a Starfleet officer too. When the Enterprise C moved ahead in time, it created an alternate timeline, one in which I was alive but shouldn't have been. I left with the Enterprise to set things right. We thought we were returning to the Narendra system in 2344 to defend the Klingon colony there from a Romulan attack. We ended up in this nebula in 2409. The Tholians caught us before we could try again, and you can guess the rest. We're going to try to restore the timeline, but to do so, we need the Enterprise C. It's still in the hangar here, and as soon as we get back to her, we'll find the temporal rift and get back to where and when we're supposed to be. To do that, we need your help. Franklin Drake is already helping us. He managed to get an access key used to operate the systems in the hangar control room. We need you to get the code from Drake and use it to open the doors to the hangar control room. I'd go myself, but we've already been here a week. The Tholians know we're trying to get back to the ship. They're watching us. But you're new. They won't suspect you're involved. That's the idea, at least. Of course, it's not as simple as getting the code and opening the door. The Tholians have guards on all critical areas. You'll need to slip past the guards and get into the maintenance tunnels. From there, it's a winding maze to the hangar control room, which can only be unlocked from the inside. Once you get in, you'll be able to open the doors. We'll be waiting there to help you free the Enterprise. Here, take this communicator. It's on a scrambled frequency the Tholians don't monitor, and it'll allow me to contact you while you're on the move. Maybe you can convince someone to cause a distraction. That might make slipping past the guards into the tunnels easier.
Okay, so first thing is, we're going to turn around, do a 180, and we're going to head back for Franklin Drake. If you remember, we took that left turn, it was a right turn, and we went and got our food, and Franklin Drake is down here.
Do you have a question? Take it. Here's a map, too. You'll need it in the tunnels. I still don't know why I'm risking my neck for this. Don't expect any more help from me. The Federation fell before I was born. I shouldn't even care, but there's something about Yar and Castillo. I know they believe they can make a difference. It makes me want to believe. Do you need anything else?
Okay, and the next thing we have to do is convince somebody to create a distraction. Now, depending on what faction you're playing as, KDF or Romulan, you just have to talk to an appropriate member of that faction. So if you're KDF, you need to talk to a KDF guy. If you're Fed, you need to talk to this guy.
How can I assist you? I don't remember the Federation, or Starfleet. The war was almost over before I was born. This is the only life I know. One of servitude, deprivation, loss. I want something better. That freedom my parents and grandparents told me about. I want the Federation back. I'll help. Just tell me what you need.
Yeah, so and obviously if you're a Romulan, you just go to one of the Romulan NPCs. But it's always the same. So he's making a distraction,
For dogs.
and the Tholian's coming down. Of course, we're ignoring the fact that we have a weapon. Actually, you know what? I'm going to hide that weapon by clicking this button here. Alright, now we go. Okay, so take note of where we are, alright? That door there, this tunnel. We're going to go in through the Jefferies Tubes.
Well done. Those maintenance tunnels are a maze. They make navigating the Jefferies Tubes on the Enterprise look easy. I recommend using the map to keep track of where you've been, what doors lead away from which room, and where you are currently.
Okay, so this is our hand-drawn map, and this is where we are. I'm going to take every entrance to complete the map. So the first thing is we're going to take a left turn, and we're going to go through this maintenance duct.
We've hit a snag. The Tholians are
Alright,
very
we're
persistent.
not going to listen to everything. We're going to get this crate, we get a level appropriate item, and we go back. Then we take another left turn, and we keep on going straight. Keep on going straight, and take a left turn. Go straight again, and we consult the wisest tribble. And exit. And we get an accolade, the wisest tribble. Now we take a right turn, and we interact with this console here. And we keep doing that to change the atmosphere in the room that we're trying to get into. And then we go straight on, we take a right. Alright, we're going to lower the temperature. And this is the room we're trying to get into, and this is the room that we just changed the atmosphere, put in oxygen, lowered the temperature, so on. Okay, so now we're going to go straight on again, take a left, and examine corpse. Who's Jim? And we get another accolade. So now we go back the way we came, take a right, now we take a left, take another left, take a right, and if I view the hand-drawn map, you can see we've completed the whole thing apart from this one here that we're about to enter now. See? Complete. Okay. And we get another accolade. Now, do you remember where we entered those tunnels, or Jefferies Tubes? Look, that's where we entered, and this is where we've come out now. Now, there's another accolade that you can do here.
I've engaged the security lockouts. That will buy us a little time.
What you have to do here is you have to talk to all three of these, and you have to assign them different tasks in order to release the Enterprise C. So you have docking clamps here, you have tractor beams, and you have webbing, and you also have to restore power to the Enterprise. Now the accolade is, I'm not going to do it myself, but when you talk to each one of them, they will say something like, we'll say Costello. He says, I'm very good with heavy machinery and something else, let's say tractor beams. So if you put him on power levels, yeah, and then you move on to Tasha, and she says she's very good with tractor beams and something else. Basically pick an option that she hasn't mentioned or they haven't mentioned, and you will get an accolade for it.
We don't have much time.
Right, so she's good with tractor beams, I just know that. Costello, you're good with heavy machinery and docking clamps. You're good with power levels.
I am here to assist.
Ship power levels. And I'm going to work on the webbing. Tolling webbing. So we should see this
Overriding
webbing.
security protocols.
We should see this webbing disappear now in a second. Okay, there it is. It's gone. and we should see the tractor beams go, the lights come on the ship, and the docking clamps get released as well.
I'm changing the targeting subroutines for the tractor beams. Tractor beam is disabled.
There we go. So there goes the tractor beams. There goes the docking clamps. And there's the power levels. Okay, so now we're going to go out this door. And we are making our way to Enterprise C. So we got a few force fields in our way here, so we just have to lower them. And one more. And here we are. NCC 1701C, Ambassador class. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my weapons on auto fire by right clicking on each one of them here. Next thing I'm going to do is adjust my power levels, reduce auxiliary, I don't need it, I'm going to increase power to weapons. I'm going to select this command cruiser ability. These four abilities down here are something that are unique to cruisers. And depending on the class of cruiser, they may have 4, they may have 3, they may have 2. This one basically reduces the weapon power cost. This one increases shield regen basically. This one basically increases your turn rate, and this one increases your threat generation. So I'm going to decrease my weapons power cost. I'm going to hit R and we go to max throttle. Actually going to go shift R now and get that magnesite. Ah, never mind. Okay, let's engage these guys.
Target shield has failed.
Notice I'm using some new abilities here. I've got what I'm doing now is eject warp plasma. That will slow down enemies where they cannot move or move extremely slow, and also add a plasma burn onto the target as well. There's a lot of torpedoes. Ay, caramba. Looks like we got some help.
Warning, ship is under attack. Target shields have failed.
Looks like you could use some help.
Rear shield failing.
We took a hit. Phasers are partially offline. We'll need to work together to take out this last ship.
Okay, that went pretty well. I'm going to grab that magnesite that we were unable to get.
The way is clear. That's my job.
Whoops.
The details aren't important.
Okay, I'm going to grab these R&D materials first, and then we will proceed forward. Because you always want R&D materials. Verteron particles. Yep, I'll have some of those. Ah, crap. I overshot. Okay, and now we head back for the vortex. Where am I? What am I doing here?
I'm sure you've realized by now, you're part of a very different timeline. This one is an aberration that we are here to correct. It would be irresponsible of us to let you go back in time with the Enterprise C, and compromise that timeline as well.
What are you going to do with me then?
We'll send you back to your time. There are still some very important events in the 25th century that you need to be a part of.
So how do I get back?
As soon as the Enterprise C returns to its correct place in history, the timeline should right itself.
Scan for anomaly. Depart the system. And that's it. Mission complete. Okay, so let's turn that in.
There wasn't anything there? That's strange.
So, yeah, these are the items that we're getting.
Congratulations, Commander.
We've jumped up to level 23. We've got some new duty officers. Excellent. We'll take those. We'll open up our inventory. We can close this now. We'll accept these. Some new duty officers. And this is a brand new ship that we've got, an Ambassador class. Now, I'm not actually going to accept that ship. It's a cruiser. I prefer the ship that I've got. But it's a free ship. So, yeah, if or when you get to this mission, you know, you can try it out for sure. You know, see what a cruiser's like. It's a free ship. Whatever you do, do not dismiss it. Do not get rid of the ship. Hang on to it. And you'll see later on why. There's a particular system in the game that opens up much later on, and you need as many ships as possible because basically you're in charge of an entire fleet. But yeah, we'll get to that later. We'll close this down for now. So yeah, thanks a million for watching, folks. If you've enjoyed this episode and indeed the entire series, please leave a like, comment and subscribe to show your support. Until next time, my name is Winters and I'll see you then. Adios.